Hey chef, what is going to happen after this pandemic is over in regards to the restaurant industry? Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss some things that could happen and some things that I think should happen on this episode of Hey, what's going on everybody? Jimmy here with The Other Chef. On this channel, we talk about the food service industry. We also do some food and product demos, as well as check out some of the eats and drinks in the local areas. So if you're interested in some of those topics, consider subscribing. So right now, during whatever day that I'm in the middle of quarantine, during the situation, we're gonna call it, there are a couple of things that have caught my eye in regards to the food service industry. I know a lot of restaurants have either closed or have pivoted and become a takeout service, delivery service, and even do some classes online virtually through various social media or even other courses available online. But with this new normal that everyone is probably going to go through, when now, since most of the economies will be start to slowly open up, there are a couple of things that I'm noticing, and these are some of the things that I've been reading about that will probably change the industry, whether for good or for bad. So let's get into that list. Number one, safety and sanitation protocols will probably not only very important, but will be very key. Even though I know that everyone is working very diligently to work clean and safely, I think now this will probably be the new normal of cleaning and sanitizing everything from top to bottom. Number two, I think now with dining spaces not available or soon will be available, I think there'll be an emptier dining room in a result of this, unfortunately, because a lot of people are taking food to go and also ordering takeout or even cooking on their own, which results in the new normal will now have more takeout and food options, as well as delivery services, just like your regular ones like Uber Eats, Postmates, etc. are now going to be able to thrive on this type of service. I think another thing also in the restaurant industry is now I think they're going to start going towards a no tipping policy, especially food service workers like here in New Orleans, when servers are only making a server's minimum wage, which is usually $2.13, and they heavily rely on tips. I think now because of the new normal that there will be a lot of changes, and they might even have a no tipping policy. I know a lot of people don't like that. I think now the model, like Danny Meyer up in New York City, what he has done has changed the no tipping policy and doing a service included policy. So therefore, menu prices and food items and the ambiance and being inside of a restaurant will probably increase ever so often, and there's no point in doing a tipping service. I think another issue tackled will be more protections and benefits available to food service workers. For example, if you're going into work, now you're gonna probably have to wear gloves, a mask while you're working. There will be hopefully more opportunities to be able to get more affordable health benefits and what other slew of benefits that they have as well. I know it's gonna cost the owners and the investors a little bit more money, but I think this is going to be a very good thing in the near future. As a result of technological advances, including ordering online and also using the power of social media, I think increased efficiency is going to be a bigger thing as well. Let's say if you do a very simple burgers and fries restaurant concept, then you already know your prep cooks are going to be pretty much the anchor of what you guys are going to be doing, and then the ones that are cooking and serving are going to be another important part of the operation. So I think efficiency, whether if you're a prep person or a person that's actually producing the product, and then finally someone that's serving it, I think there's going to be a lot more efficiency. There's not going to be that many people to do one particular thing. And with the rise of to-go orders and also takeout orders, I think this will be the rise of smaller restaurant spaces and also something called ghost kitchens. So for those who don't know, a ghost kitchen is a kitchen that is a restaurant but doesn't open to the public. They are strictly a takeout service, and also they do deliveries as well. Some of your most popular items, such as David Chang's Fuku fried chicken sandwich, was recently in a ghost kitchen area, I think in the Pacific Northwest area. I don't know for sure, but that was an example of a ghost kitchen. Like I said before, there's going to be another version of being able to offer some of your services as a chef, such as providing virtual environments like cooking classes, or even consulting for people who want to start a business and what have you. Especially with the social distancing currently going on right now, this would be a very good platform for people who want to express their skills in a different way. Another thing that I think that will change how we eat is diversification of menus, simplified menus, and also the possibility of kitchens creating food that you can't make at home. I know that this has been a very common theme of cooking very simple meals and then serving it out to your public. Everything from mac and cheese to simple sandwiches to cooking for a family of 4, even alcoholic beverages. I mean, I've seen it all over social media, and also in many restaurants locally in New Orleans and in Portland, and even in LA as well. And I think one of the biggest things that I will see that will be a huge part of this new normal is a zero waste kitchen and hyper sourcing in local areas to getting produce and meat and also seafood in the area. I think this is very important. I've always been a fan of getting as much local product as close as I can. I'm also a huge fan of a zero waste environment. Some examples of great zero waste environments would be some of the restaurants that I actually went to in Copenhagen. And if you're interested in seeing some of those restaurants, like Restaurant 108 or even Amos that I've mentioned previously, check out the links below for those videos. And finally, really unpredictability. We don't know what's going to happen in the next generation, especially in regards to this, unprecedented time. We don't know if real estate will be able to come back from converting a restaurant space out of a warehouse or using a food hall space to be able to make your operation small and simple but concise to the point. Or could it be the rebound for food trucks and food carts to actually thrive, especially in areas that are very restaurant association tight knit? Is, for example, the Louisiana Restaurant Association. They welcome food trucks, but they are heavily regulated. And I think now this is going to be the equalizer of food trucks being able to thrive in the industry, especially in areas where they are much needed, such as hospitals, business park areas, or even downtown New Orleans, to even challenge that. And I hope that these are some things that I think that will drastically change of how we do business in relation to the food service industry. I know it's a very unprecedented time, and I just want to let everyone know that stay safe, continue social distancing, support your local business, and most importantly, take care of what you can do within your means. Hey, thanks for watching. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell for notifications on future content on this channel, including my travel series, and also going to start doing a little bit more cooking now since I'm stuck in this area for the next couple of days. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.